You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
At St. Jude, our family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Oh, let me tell you something. I am so sick of Washington and all its works, all them politicians down there and them congressmen. I'll bet you won't find none of them congressmen signing down their electric blankets tonight. Which if they did, their secretaries would get up and go home.
We gotta do something. Absolutely. You know what we gotta do? Toga party.
Toga! 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 Toga!
Click, click, boom! I'm coming down on the stereo, baby on the radio. Click, click, boom!
I want you to kill every golfer on the course.
Check me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but if I kill all the golfers, they're gonna lock me up and throw away the key.
All right, folks. All right. It's Friday night, which means it's time for Robinson and Wright. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different tonight. And if you can hear me, put out on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you can put it out. Get your butts in the chat. We have a drinking game for Friday nights now. Anytime I say the word literally, you are free to take a shot. If you've listened to my shows, I say it a lot. So you're probably going to get drunk. So get your butts in the chat. If you're not in the chat room, it doesn't apply, but nobody can enforce it, so do it anyway. All right, so I am one half of the crew, Mr. Rick Robinson. The other half is Mr. Dan Wright. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Apparently, you've discovered a crutch.
Actually, well, it's been pointed out to me now quite often, but I've just decided to embrace it because it's one of those words that it's my I can't. I've managed to get rid of ums and uhs for the most part, but I use the word literally a lot. And as you know from some of the groups that we're in, I've actually gotten to know one of the local guys here fairly well, and we hang out and talk on Twitter now. And they actually, somebody pointed out to him one of his words that he says a lot, and they decided they were going to start doing a drinking game anytime he said that particular word. And I was like, oh, that will work for me with the word literally. So I've just decided Friday nights, both shows, open bar, man. Bring your own bottle. Anytime I say literally, feel free to take a shot. Unless
Why
you're
just Friday night.
Because it's Friday. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want a whole audience full of alcoholics. I mean, come on. Well, never mind.
Oh,
I forgot who most of the people are that listen to the show anyway. So never mind. I said corrected. Well, actually, Friday night still kind of only works for this one because it's the only night we do it. But anyway, so yeah. So how you been, man? We didn't manage to pull this off last week. You had to work late. I forgot my phone. Life was great. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I had to work late. You forgot your phone. We didn't communicate very well, but we're here this week.
I don't know. Are we? This could be a podcast. They'll never know. No. This could be a replay, and they'll never know. No, just in case you're curious.
Well, I mean, are you asking what's new?
Well,
I mean, what's new is that apparently the 10th Amendment of the Constitution doesn't exist.
Well, that's like that line from The Matrix. There is no spoon. Apparently, there's no 10th Amendment. Why don't we just strike the whole Bill of Rights while we're at it? Because apparently liberals don't like any of that crap anyway. I almost said a word I'm really not supposed to say, but it's late night, so I might not care.
Yeah, just to kind of let everybody in, there's a little conversation I got involved in where I've literally been told. Oh, I just said literally. I've been told that states' rights do not exist. The states have no rights. The federal government is all powerful, and the states have zero rights.
Kneel before Zod.
Right. And I say we're, myself and a couple of other people, we're just stupid libertarians, and it's a stupid religion we belong to, and that we hero worship rich white men. And that's why we believe in what we believe in, because everything we want is for rich white men.
So, why does it always come back to rich white men?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess the way the left thinks is that all the right cares about is rich white men. I guess that was what it boils down to.
They really should probably look at the offerings they put up for the 2016 election cycle before they keep making statements like that, because everybody was either old, rich, or white. And
everybody was old, rich, and white.
And I'm not entirely certain that Hillary Clinton qualifies as a female. I'm just saying. I mean, you have to hatch your children. That might not necessarily count. Oh, damn. I'm sorry. Did I say that
boy.
out loud? My bad.
I just, the whole concept, you send these people, you send them the 10th Amendment, and they just, I've listened to an entire day of just straw man arguments that all boils down to they keep saying libertarians, but they're pretty much hinting that all conservatives care about are rich white men and making rich white men richer.
Yeah, that's why we just gave a tax cut to pretty much everybody. Just saying.
Right. And one of the things was, basically, states have no rights anymore, and if you believe in states' rights and you just want states' rights, you're just going to be walking, because flying cars are coming soon, and the states won't be able to handle the infrastructure for flying cars. So if you want states' rights, just assume you're going to walk.
That's the same argument they made when the horse and buggy retired, was that we needed more government overreach because of cars.
Right. And but their argument is, well, with states' rights, you wouldn't have the air traffic control grid. Well, no, you don't. What I try to explain is, I don't want no federal government. I just want states' rights. Stuff like the air traffic control grid, that is the job for the federal government. That's what the federal government's supposed to do. They're not supposed to dictate how states run their educational systems. They're not supposed to dictate what states let men into women's bathrooms. They're supposed to run the infrastructure. That's what they're there for. And if you read the 10th Amendment, what they're there for, above all, is to intervene in disputes between states. They're basically the moderator.
So apparently I'm doing
that's the main role.
Sorry, I got distracted by shinies. Apparently I'm doing Twitter wrong. Somebody that I follow, Dr. Sue DVM, actually just put out a tweet showing that she's been blocked by Rosie, Cher, Rep. Keith Ellison, and Louis Mensch. She says, next up, Planned Parenthood. Apparently I'm doing Twitter wrong.
Well, I'm blocked by Rosie, Louise Mensch. I've been blocked by Cecile Richards, Planned Parenthood. I've been blocked by Shannon Watts like 7 times.
Well, that's because you're on your seventh account.
Well, but I mean, with Shannon Watts, all you have to do is ask her one sensible question, and she blocks you because she has no answer.
Oh my God, the CW! I'm sorry. I'm just kind of strolling through my news feed, and I have to say this because if I don't, I'm going to scream. Apparently, the CW is bringing back Charmed.
Oh boy!
I'm really so I'm hoping maybe if Alyssa Milano's in it, maybe this time she plays the crazy grandma because it would fit. Just saying. I like a lot of the stuff the CW puts out, but why Charmed? Ugh.
I don't know, and I don't know. I have a hard time. I've said it before. I have a hard time with TV.
I still watch more than I should, to be honest. But
we did watch on Paramount Network. We watched the premiere episode of the miniseries Waco, which was excellent. I'm hooked. I will be watching all 6 episodes. Have you seen that? The commercials or anything for that?
I have seen commercials for it. I'm not even sure if I have the Paramount Network. I haven't looked.
It used to be Spike.
Oh, then I do. I didn't know they changed the name. Cool.
Yep.
I'll have to look.
Yep, it's now the Paramount Network.
Well, are they actually doing something with it? Because Spike TV was horrid. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I think they're really making an effort. And I'm going to tell you, we watched that first installment of Waco, and it was phenomenal. It was really good. And it even, I mean, the first half hour of it was basically, you could call the precursor, and it was Ruby Ridge.
Yeah.
Basically documented it went through the whole, everything that happened in Ruby Ridge and into the squabbling and infighting and finger pointing between the FBI and the ATF. And, right towards the end, it was really getting more into the compound in Waco and what was going on between the people there. And then obviously it's going to delve deeper next week. But they did a really good job with the Ruby, with the Ruby Ridge segment of it. It was really good.
Well, now that I know I have access to it, I'm going to have to go see if I can find it. I bet you it's probably in their on-demand section.
Yeah, and they they're putting this on now, which really does not show the FBI in a very good light. When the FBI right now isn't showing itself in a really good light these days.
Well, let's just, it's interesting that you bring that up because that was actually going to be one of the next things I was going to kind of gravitate towards. It's also interesting that you're kind of doing this as kind of a parallel thing. I submit it's not really very much of a parallel and that just not much has changed between then and now.
Probably not.
Because, if they were this inept and this dysfunctional back then, and they are this inept and dysfunctional now, is it really that much of a stretch to believe they've probably been that way the whole time? We just didn't notice?
Yeah, probably. And, they are, it does have kind of the, if you want to, it seems, at least so far, the good guy who is the big FBI negotiator, and you kind of see through the whole thing, like at Ruby Ridge, he was trying to negotiate, but they didn't even call him in until Weaver's wife had already been shot and killed. So they've already killed his wife, and then they bring the negotiator in. Guy wasn't too up for, it was the negotiator that ended up bringing him out. But boy, they handed him a big fat pile of shit to deal with before they brought him in. He should have been brought in from the beginning.
Oh, but that's the whole thing, though. Why did they not bring him in from the beginning? If they were actually trying to negotiate, why wait until after they had? They just tried to take him out. They just tried to take him out. There was no negotiation. Their whole, they brought the FBI in to take over because the ATF had really bungled it, and really it should have never gotten that far to begin with. And so the ATF basically, and to put it simply, they basically begged the FBI to come in and take over to try to smooth over what they had screwed up. And the team leader from the FBI basically just puts his sniper up on the hill and waits for Weaver and his buddy to leave the house, and then they try to take him out. They make it back to the house, and the last shot taken kills Weaver's wife with the kids in the house. House full of kids. Their 3 kids are in the house, and the sniper's taking shots through the front door. Yeah, to me, the whole thing's just crazy. I mean, it was crazy even back then. But to look at, that's the interesting thing about looking at things from a historical perspective, because they're going to be able to put connotations to things that we had no idea what was going on in some ways back then. And if you look at this, coloring it through the lens of now, really, if you stop and think about it, nothing's really changed with the FBI. It's just another example of a completely bloated, overgrown, overreached, overstretched, completely overpowered government that we need to deal with. And that's why we have an entire generation of people that don't even think that states have the ability to govern themselves, or rights or powers or whatever you want to call them. That's the funniest thing today that I kept seeing pop up on that thread the last time I checked at it, was all these people that were like, well, technically he's right because states really don't have rights, they have powers. What semantics, dude? You know what we're talking about, so quit being a moron. We're talking about the fact that each independent state, that's why we have a group of people at the federal level called the State Department, because a state, in political parlance, is its own separate governing entity. Each state used to be independent. They were a conglomeration. That's what we lost with the Civil War. Before the Civil War, it was these United States of America. They were brought together for common defense and mutual trade. That was it. That's all the general government was supposed to do. After Lincoln and the Civil War, it morphed into the federal government, and since then we have lost control of it. And that is the plain and simple truth. And the thing that nobody's talking about, except for us and a few other shows like us, is the fact that President Trump is actually doing everything that he can do to bring states' rights or states' powers back to the forefront. He has done more to undo government overreach in a year than any president since Reagan. And nobody's talking about it because we're too busy talking about what he's tweeting, or whether or not he slept with a freaking porn star. He's married to a porn star. Why the hell do I care if he banged another one 6 years ago?
Exactly. I don't care about his personal life. This whole Russia thing, anytime he does anything good, or anytime anybody on the other side gets caught doing anything bad, the whole Russia thing just becomes forefront in the news again. I'm tired of it. What did I see the other day? It said, it just went down, it said, Hillary's emails disappear. The FBI's texts disappear. This disappears. That disappears. If Trump lost a single email, the left would be all over him. It's crazy.
And that's the whole point.
This whole thing with the text messages with the FBI. Number one, I would really like to see these text messages that I guess they apparently finally recovered between these 2 FBI agents who apparently were also screwing each other, because it's 50,000 text messages?
Yeah.
Over a 6-month period?
50,000.
Oh, I bet you there's some saucy text messages in there.
I believe the kids
using their government phones.
I believe the kids nowadays call that sexting. I'm just saying.
What? I just.
Sorry, I'm.
When it first came up, how do you lose text messages? You can pull text messages out of a phone, even if they've been deleted. You can pull text messages. You can go back to your provider and have the text message. They're always there. They're never really deleted.
It's kind of like things on the interwebs for you millennials that like to post little sexy pictures. Even after you hit delete, they never actually go away. Just ask the Twitter guys that are keeping all your pictures and scanning your DMs. Just saying.
Yeah, that's it. I know this firsthand from a detective that somebody can delete all the text messages they want on the phone. All the detective needs is the phone and take it back to the provider, and they can get the text messages back. So that was all just bull. They think we're stupid. Now they could have Hillaried their phones. There is that. The phones could be gone, but they can still go back through the system at the provider and find the text messages.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They could smash them with a hammer. They could, bleach bit them, whatever they want to do. But the thing about it is, those text messages are still stored on their provider's network, and they can be recovered. So why did it take us so long to find 50,000 air quote missing emails? Because they didn't want them to be found. But my question is, why didn't they want them to be found? Because from what I can see, most of them don't really seem to be incriminating, unless these two were trying to hide the fact that they were boinking each other, which apparently they were, and also trying to hide it, because most of the messages that have been now reappeared seem to be their private exchanges with one another. The interesting thing about some of this stuff is apparently they were exchanging classified information via text messaging on government phones, the very same thing that they were supposed to be investigating Hillary Clinton for doing, which is using unsecured devices to transmit secure information. Surprise! Irony, it's not just what's for dinner. Just saying.
Yeah, it's all bunk. I mean, it really is. And it's not just, it wasn't just their text messages either. They were saying that they lost, they try to cover it up by saying they lost text messages from multiple agents. They don't get lost. They're always there.
It's kind of like your kids.
Hillary has her hammer in her cloth. She smashes BlackBerries and wipes her hard drives with a cloth, and everything's fine and everything's missing.
Oh, I thought you said her hammer and her claw. I was wondering if you were describing it as a claw hammer or if she was grasping it with her claw. Either of which is feasible. Just saying. Because, yeah, she's pretty much got talons. Talons and cankles. That's Hillary Clinton in a nutshell. Talons and cankles.
Wow, you beat me to the cankles.
I think, honestly, I think part of it, because everybody is, like, even Ron right now is picking on me for some of the things that I'm saying. I think it's because I miss JD being on Twitter. I'm starting to, this happened the last time he was off Twitter for an extended period. I, started channeling him somehow and started saying things that I knew that he would say. And I think it's just because I miss him, because he's gotten himself twit mode, and he is drawing a line in the sand and refusing to delete the tweets that got him twit mode, so I don't think he's ever coming back to Twitter again.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so anyway.
I just screenshot mine so that I could just come back and repost it as a screenshot.
Well, this is the second time that this has happened to him since he's returned.
The same people that got him are the ones that got me.
Oh, yeah. I figure it has to do with someone that we know who shall not be mentioned on this show. Because that was all being stirred up again right about the time that he got nailed. So I'm sure it probably had something to do with that. But yeah, this has only happened to him twice since he came back. One was actually on his first day back. He got mixed up with that Brianna Wu transgender, whatever the hell that thing is, and got popped for saying something to her.
Thing.
And then now this one, and this time he's just like, you know what, I'm done. He's like sending text to everybody like, I am not deleting these things. This is horse crap. I'm not doing this. They can kick my account and shove it. And I'm like, dude, it's not that. But we've been through this before. I was the one that put together a text message group so that we could still talk to you, and I will do that again. Damn it, you're gonna come back, or I'm gonna do it again. He hasn't answered me since then, so we'll see. I think he's like, if I just stop talking, he'll forget I'm there. But no, I don't know. JD's like you, man. I mean, he's become an extended part of my family. I mean, you guys, I don't really consider you friends because we've done the convention stuff together. We've met in person. We've hung out. And I mean, despite what everybody thinks, this is not easy stuff to do, especially not on a weekly or a daily basis. I mean, it's one thing to put together a podcast every so often that you're editing on your own, and you're not interacting with anybody, you're just putting things together and you're putting it up. That's one thing. That's easy. But to put yourself out there on a live basis once a week, sometimes daily, giving opinions, allowing people to come back at you with their own opinions and kind of going toe-to-toe with them from time to time, this is not an easy thing to do for an extended period. And especially if you start doing it at places like CPAC and some of the other places that we've done things, to me, that earns battle points. And, once we start doing those kind of things together, I view you guys as family. And so now JD's gone, and I'm sitting here going, I miss him, and now all of a sudden I'm channeling him on the radio, talking about the president banging porn stars. I don't know.
Well, he is trying to, as far as I know, appeal it instead of deleting it. I think he's just basically making a stand and telling Twitter, no, I'm not gonna delete what I say on a public forum. You're gonna reinstate my account. We'll see how that works.
Ron, I'm trying, brother. He's had an open door for months, man. He keeps saying he wants to come back, but his schedule doesn't let him work. Sorry, I know I'm having a one-sided conversation right now, but we have a fan that's like, bring him back, pretty please. I mean, radio, if he wants to do it, and I'm like, dude, he's had an open door since the day he left. And to explain this, because some folks don't know this, the reason Jen and I originally took Tuesday, Thursday at the times that we took them was because I had a feeling that at some point those two were going to want to come back, and I wanted to make sure that they had a spot. That's the reason why we went down a day, was because we were expecting them to come back, and it didn't happen. So then we went back up to 2 days so I could make sure that I'm still holding a spot for the day that either he or they decide to come back. So I'm doing everything I can, man, to get him back behind a microphone, but he's got to take a step too. I can't drag him in and chain him to the chair. I mean, I could, but that's like entrapment and false imprisonment and jail time, and I'm not down for that. Just saying.
Yeah, but I think he wants to do it too. I think he misses it, but he also, that job of his is insane.
I told him it was going to be the day that he took it.
The man is literally on call 24/7, 365.
Yeah, and from what I understand,
I don't know how he does it. I really don't know how he does it.
And from what I've seen, I'm not sure he's getting paid enough that I would want to be on call 24/7. I'm just saying. Because and that's when he started talking about taking the promotion back in the day, I told him, it's going to be one of those things where you're probably going to have to put things on hold for a while and see how things shake out. But one way or the other, if you can get it sorted out, you'll always have a spot, and you know that. And I think, he's tried. He was going to do a solo show for a while, and then he couldn't get the things under control well enough, and then him and Stacy had patched things up, and they were going to bring Game On back, and then he just, I can't get control enough of my schedule to even put aside an hour, because as soon as I think I'm going to have time, I get a call, and somebody needs freaking Great Bet soda on a white plane at 3:30 in the morning, and I have to deal with it now, because it's all got to be done now, not 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I really don't know. I've talked to him, I've had insomniac nights where I'm up and, he'd text me and just tell me what was demanded of him And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, the whole story with Eminem, with Eminem's in like frickin' London getting on a plane, and he demands square pizza.
Oh yeah, I got that story
square
too.
Pizza in London, so they found a pizzeria to make square pizza, but the square pizza looked like crap. They got on a plane, and he wasn't satisfied with the square pizza. It's like, you little snot, just eat pizza. You know, just eat pizza.
Yeah, you would think. All right, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to herd the cats a little bit better, maybe get back to talking politics. This is, I almost said America Off the Rails. This is Robinson and Wright. We'll be back here in about 3 minutes or so, if I can actually remember what I did with the commercials. Yay, fun times. Be right back.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Now it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out of your ball.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. But it's the peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. Oh, it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Now it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of your ball game.
All right, folks, we are back. We are live. This is, I almost did it again. Robinson and Wright. We're live right now on Friday night, KLRNradio.com. And it is literally time for you to take a drink if you're in our shot, or in our chat. Take a shot. And we got about 20 minutes left because we ran really, really long on that front stuff. But there's a few news things that I really kind of want to talk about, because there's this whole story circulating now about how Trump apparently back in June or July wanted to fire Mueller, however the hell you say his name. And apparently it's this huge deal because he wanted to do it, but he didn't. I've wanted the guy fired since day one. Is somebody going to come put me in handcuffs now?
Absolutely. Why he didn't do it, I don't know. But maybe because, here we are, how far into this now? And maybe he just didn't do it because he felt that if he did, fingers were going to get pointed at him. I honestly think Trump seems pretty confident. Confident to the point where I think he's almost sitting there going, almost laughing. For him to come out and say he'll be interviewed, what guy that actually is guilty of something comes and says, yeah, come on, Justice Department. Who does that?
Yeah,
like I saw the other day, one of our friends said it. He's either crazy or he's got really bad lawyers, which we know he doesn't.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, though. Let's be real. Everything that's come out so far is showing exactly how inept and corrupt the FBI DOJ are. That's like this whole Memo-gate thing that's going around now. I've seen so many people that have called that a bunch of crap and it's all a bunch of made-up stuff. Look, the guy that's putting this stuff together actually had to go into a skiff to get this documentation. The fact that the FBI was making noise about not being able to see this memo, they have everything that he's put in the memo. That's where he got the information that he put into the memo. Everything that is coming out, albeit coming out very, very slowly, points back to a concerted effort between the FBI, the DOJ, the Obama administration, and the Clinton administration to ensure that she became the Queen of the United States. That is what they were trying to do. That failed. Whatever else comes out of this, I am 1,000% happy that we do not have Hillary Clinton as president of the United States. If Donald Trump did something with the Russians, which at this point I don't really believe that he did, but if he did, we will deal with it when we find out about it and when we know about it. But everything that I have seen, everything that I have heard, everything that is allowed to come out through the cracks is pointing at this administration, the one that was in office from 2008 to 2009 to 2017, was the craziest, most inept, most corrupt, most narcissistic administration that has ever been in the White House ever. Now that he's not in office, even people from countries like Great Britain are talking about when they had meetings with him, how narcissistic he was and how all he wanted to do was talk about himself. And that, these are the things that they're trying to say that make Donald Trump who Donald Trump is. What they're doing is these people that know Obama, They're taking all of these things that they knew that they were able to hide about Obama, and they're trying to project them onto Donald Trump. I will tell you that Donald Trump acts like the biggest buffoon in the world when he's in front of a camera, but that's because that's what he has learned to do. Because if you go and look, when he was younger, he didn't do those things. He wasn't bombastic. He wasn't loud. He wasn't brash. The first time I ever remember seeing him interviewed, I believe it was Letterman, way back in the day, I think, and he was sitting on the couch staring at his shoes until somebody directly asked him a question. That man learned how to be who he is because being in TV and the media business taught him to be that way. I'm the same way. If you talk to me away from a microphone, I am the most quiet, shy, meek guy you're ever going to talk to. You can ask JD. The first time we went to CPAC, me, Hammy, Stacy, JD, all went out to eat dinner. I sat there until anybody would speak to me directly, and all I was doing was watching the room because I'm a really quiet person when I'm not in front of a microphone. JD actually looked at me finally at the end of the night and said, "Motherfucker, do you ever talk when you're not in front of a microphone?" Like, never really thought about it before now, but yeah, really, I kind of don't.
And it's been how many shows since I slipped up, Rick?
I don't want to hear it. At least I haven't snored on the air yet.
Okay.
You'll always have that one, so I can bring that up anytime
I will always have that one.
Besides,
I did it to my previous co-host too, so there's that too.
Well, your previous co-host would put Rush Limbaugh to sleep, I'm just saying.
Yeah, he would.
I'm just saying. So yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. Wow, we haven't talked about him in a while.
Yeah, back to what we were talking about. The other thing that just absolutely kills me is how long it takes them to release information because they're all scattering about the background going, how can we release this information without looking guilty? All the whole time they're looking guilty. I don't know. I have zero trust in the DOJ and the FBI at the moment. Zero trust. If I found out that for some reason the FBI was investigating me for something, and something that I knew I didn't do, at this point, I'd probably just walk up to him with my hands together and go ahead and cuff me and take me away because I know you're going to find me guilty no matter what I say, no matter what I do, because I just don't think, there's just too much. It keeps coming in, all from the lost text to it's just everything. I'm very quickly losing trust in this over-bloated government that has been completely corrupted. I'd say probably over quite a long time, but it was heavily accelerated during the last administration.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the last administration put all of that on steroids. Because it all completely went away.
Exactly. When the administration is using the FBI and the DOJ to target people and the IRS to target people and get things done, it's a pretty sad thing.
Okay, so we are, believe it or not, we're actually coming up to the top of the hour again. Sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off. I just wasn't sure if you knew what time it was. We're getting kind of close. We're not there yet.
Yeah,
I just wanted
to there about 9 minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we got in another topic that I think is basically like smacking of hypocrisy. So apparently there's a rumor being floated now that Nikki Haley is sleeping with POTUS.
Oh. I saw that and I was like, come on.
So, but see, here's the thing. This is something that successful women deal with all the time. If you talk to Nikki Haley or you read her stories, she's been accused of this multiple times. She was accused while she was in the House. She was accused during her gubernatorial campaign. She's now been accused as Secretary of State. I mean, it's like Democrats think the only way that women can get to the top is by climbing on top of a man. I wonder if that's because it's the only way it works for them.
Well, and at the same time, they talk about, I don't know, it's so anti-feminism to say that, yet they're all about the feminists. I don't care if she's on the other side of the aisle. Somebody like Nikki Haley should be celebrated by the left and their feminism. It should be celebrated, but no, she's successful and she's on the right, so she must have slept her way to the top. It's the ultimate hypocrisy. I mean, I said it about, years ago about Sarah Palin, how they just started dumping on her. I'm like, wait a minute, this is a successful woman. She's governor of a state. Aren't you supposed to be celebrating that? No, instead, just since she doesn't have their ideology, they're just going to slam her and get every bit of dirt, whether true or not, on her, and scrutinize her family. And I was just, and now here they're doing it with Nikki Haley. And it's not true. I mean, I can tell you that. I mean, I said that right off the bat. This is just, it's nothing but propaganda from the left. Anybody that's successful and doing a good job on the right, just like with Trump, anything he does that's good is bad. If Obama had actually had a tax cut like this that did what it's doing, I would have been like, hey, great, he did something good. But no, Trump does it, and it's a bad thing. If Obama had actually done it, it would have been like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But their partisanship just kills everything.
Well, it's like
just kills everything.
It's like you were talking about before we went on air. I think it was Nancy Pelosi back in 2009, 2010 was talking about, back when they were talking about
It was 2011.
Well, yeah, when they were talking about saving us $2,500 a year is going to be like putting $40 a week back in everybody's pocket, and how it's going to be a great thing. And now they're like, oh, that's nothing. That's crumbs.
Right. $40 a week is crumbs now, but it was the greatest thing since sliced bread when it was supposed to happen from their side. That $2,500 a year didn't do much for me.
Well, I can tell you why it's so great from their perspective, the way they tried to do it, because they did it by taking from the rich and redistributing. Through government redistribution, they took money from companies and forced them to what they thought was supposed to happen was they were going to force them to put it back in our pockets. But the thing about it is, the funniest thing is, they promised us about $40 a week. They promised us if we liked our doctor, we were going to get to keep our doctor. But in reality, if you average the losses across the country and the fact that healthcare costs continue to rise even though healthcare was used less because people can't afford the premiums they have now, so their costs went up. They were using it less because their premiums have gotten out of control. Their out-of-pocket expenses have gone nuts because their deductibles are crazy. So if you really stop and think about it, they were supposed to give us about $40 a week. In reality, in most cases, they took anywhere from $80 to $120 a week right back out of our pockets. So now we have a president trying to give it back to us, and it's all crumbs. It doesn't matter because if the companies are doing well enough to give these $1,000 bonuses, why aren't they giving permanent pay raises? These tax cuts are permanent. Okay, so first of all, no friggin' tax cut is ever permanent. Does it have a sunset on it? No. But can another Congress 20 years from now, if all of a sudden we go crazy and all decide we're going to become a bunch of socialists and put a bunch of these morons back in power again, can they vote to make changes to it again? Yes. So quit saying they're permanent. They are fixed. That's the truth. Right now, the tax rates are fixed because they don't fluctuate. There's no sunset. but they are never permanent, because the only way you could make them permanent is if you said, okay, so we're going to make this the tax rate, and then we're going to throw it all out. That's the only numbers we're ever going to use ever again. We're not going to have an income tax ever again. If it comes up for a vote, we're going to disband it. That's the only way you could make these tax cuts legitimately permanent. So the fact that the Democrats are, well, the tax cuts for the people are temporary and the ones for the businesses are permanent. No, they're not. They're fixed. And you tell me, what sitting Congress is going to come in a couple years when it's time? When it's time to do that vote, what sitting Congress is going to go? Yeah, we're going to let those tax cuts expire. They will be out on their asses.
Yeah,
come on.
And no, I mean, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw it too. I saw it was actually a thread about people getting a tax cut, and it was a post about, well, why are these companies just giving a one-time bonus instead of giving raises? Well, the thread wasn't even about that.
Yeah, it was about the money you're getting back on your taxes, which is government money that you're getting back. The money the government stole from you. Because, yes, I am libertarian, big L, when it comes to taxation. Taxation is theft. As far as I'm concerned, there shouldn't be any, at least not past the state level. The state levels, unless you're in California, then you're screwed because them people's nuts. But taxation should be basically at the state level, and then the states should push money to the federal government. The thing that has always driven me nuts about the tax code that we have right now, from my understanding of the Constitution, a direct federal income tax is technically unconstitutional. So the only reason they've been able to get away with it is because they funnel it through your employers.
Yeah. It's actually something funny that I saw today. It was a screenshot. Apparently, one of the online tax services, once you complete your taxes, it says, "Congratulations, you've successfully completed your refund on the theft."
There's a tax service.
I've got to find out what tax. I got to find out what tax service that is.
I need to find out what tax service that is, because I may have to buy that one. All right, so we have officially hit the top of the hour. You want to keep going or wrap it up?
No, we need to wrap it up.
Well,
it's been an extremely long week again.
I was leaving it up to you. I know.
And you don't want me snoring on the air again.
I'm going to put a snoring sound effect on the soundboard one of these days, and I'm going to play it when you're really quiet, and people are going to think you've fallen asleep again. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for this particular episode of The Robinson and Wright Show. Hey, at the end of the show, I got it right again. We'll be back with you again next week, barring Dan having to work late and me potentially locking my phone in my office. And there'll be even more crazy Democratic shenanigans that I'm sure we can talk about, because they're melting down everywhere, because the Republicans are putting money back in your pockets through tax cuts, which is something they said was never going to happen. Because remember, trickle-down economics doesn't work. We'll see how well it doesn't work now that California is raising their state corporation or state corporate tax once the federal cuts have come through, and all these businesses, the few that are left in California, are going to be leaving. Not to mention, one last thing on the way out, and then we really do have to go. Why the hell is California going to start charging servers $2 for straws that they give out that people don't ask for? You guys have really gone... Okay, so there is this whole new California movement. For those of you that are in California, I think it's time you seriously think about this concept and let the crazies have one side and you rational people have the other, and try to make sure that they're on the side that might eventually fall in the ocean. Just saying. All right, anything you want to say on the way out before I start playing Gotta Go music?
Well, you know what? Everybody kind of knows where to find me, but I did want to add, since you touched on California, really quick, I saw something that apparently this whole system they've set up out there with the elections is about to bite the liberals, because apparently the top two vote getters, whether it's a Democrat and a Republican, or two Republicans or two Democrats, are the ones that get put on the ballot. And apparently there's a bunch of races out there where right now two Republicans are in the lead. So apparently in a whole bunch of races on the ballot in 2018, there could be only Republicans on the ballot. They never thought that would happen.
Well, yeah, and that's why they changed the system in the first place, because because up until now, it's pretty much, and, you know, I didn't know this until Ordy and I were talking about it the other day when I was doing the Bunny show, and he's like, yeah, man, in California it's weird. He's like, you know, you can have a Democrat on the ticket from like SoCal, you'll have a Democrat on the ticket from North Cal. He's like, if it's 2 Democrats, it doesn't matter. If it's 2 Republicans, it doesn't matter. It's not each side gets a spot on. It's the 2 top vote getters. And he's like, and it's about to bite them in the ass because they've got a lot of races right now that it looks like it's going to be 2 Republicans. So I'm sure that'll be something they'll be changing again soon. Either that, or the people in California finally figured out these people are nuts, and they're like, yeah, y'all are trying to screw things up even worse than we thought. All right, so on that note, because we got a late start, we are officially past 60 minutes. So we're out for the night, folks. We will be back next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope everybody has a great, safe, happy Friday night. And just for those of you hanging out in the chat taking shots, literally one more time, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Actually, I guess for me, I'll see you Tuesday. We'll be back. See you when we see you. Take care.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. But it's the peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. Oh, it's root for the whole team.
Giggity, giggity. Giggity, giggity. Stick around.